Good evening, collective, and welcome back to Beyond the Veil Late Nights with the Oracle. It is I, the Sovereign Seer, your girl Z, and tonight's message feels a little different. It feels a little different. I was starting to burn. I didn't know what I was going to get. I received a download and I came to the table. And without making any statements or asking any questions, I wanted to see if the cards were going to reveal the story. And because this isn't a reading about who loves who misses who, or even who's coming back, tonight's reading is about understanding what really happened. See, because some of you have been carrying questions for a long time. Not necessarily because you want someone back, but because you want clarity. You want to understand where things changed, where the connections shifted, where the energy stopped flowing the way it once did. And Holy Spirit gave us two messages. Healing feels like garbage before it feels like growth. And then we have resilience, patience, struggle. It says, no, you're not dying, but yes, it sucks. And notice the imagery. This woman is in bed. She's wrapped in blankets, throws, what have you. She's got her head partially covered. There's dirty Kleenex around. And looks like she got some hot tea in her hand. Then the second card I pulled was the real story. The true story will come to light. So for those that have been asking, the real story will come to light. So tonight, we're not going to chase fantasy, and we're not forcing outcomes. We're simply asking Spirit to reveal the truth that's beneath the surface. So, let's get into it. What's really happening here, like I mentioned before, this is not about who loves who misses who, will they come back. I think what really happened here is a much deeper conversation. And from the cards, this feels more like a failure to choose. What do I mean? So we got the Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups says that the emotional potential was real. We got happiness, family, harmony, emotional stability. Okay, this tells me that one or both of these individuals saw, felt, perceived wish fulfillment in the other. Okay? They felt wish fulfillment. They thought this one was the one. Okay? Rock with me. But right after that, we have the Two of Wands. But it came out inverted. The Two of Wands reversed says somebody got stuck at a crossroads and never fully committed to a direction. Right behind that, we have the High Priestess. This says to me, somebody already knew something wasn't right long before they had proof. You feel me? And this Page of Wands energy says that there was excitement. This Ten of Cups. There was attraction, possibility, chemistry. Look at those orbs as well as fireworks. Okay? There was chemistry. There was curiosity. And then this Page of Swords reversed. Baby. This is where the wheels fell off. This can be poor communication, immaturity, watching instead of speaking or doing. Wow. I heard assumptions. Assumptions about what? Half-truths. So there was avoidance. Information gathering without direct conversation. And see, excuse me, I'm not going to shut up, so messing with my throat chakra ain't going to work. My water, excuse me, y'all, 1 second. Where was I at? This is where people got you messed up. And this is why this real story card feels important. Not because somebody necessarily lied about everything, but because everybody may not have been operating from the same information. And collective, before we go any further, I jump right in here. Again, welcome back to the channel. If you haven't already, please hit that like and subscribe button. If anything in this reading is resonating with you, if it's helping you to heal, reflect, grow, gain clarity, and process your situations, I invite you to support the channel in whatever way feels aligned. Many people don't realize that receiving messages isn't just about reading cards. There is study, there's prayer, there's reflection, There's discernment and energy that goes into creating these spaces. So whether you choose to like, comment, or share, that's a wonderful way to energetically support this channel. Hype the channel, buy me a coffee, or donating a seed of any amount if you feel led. Not to mention, please continue showing up and engaging with the content. This helps the algorithm. It gets me out to more people who need these messages to help them progress and move forward. So I appreciate every form of support. All right. Now, let's get back to this reading because I think there is so much more that's about to come out as we dive into it. What stands out to me is this high priestess that follows immediately behind the Two of Wands reverse. That tells me somebody already knew. Maybe not every detail or fact, but they knew something was off. The high priestess is intuition. This is inner knowing. This is silent observation. This is paying attention to what isn't being said. And that's why I tell you guys, it's not braggadocious. I'm not a tarot reader. I'm a high priestess. In my natural waking life, I hear what isn't said. So whether y'all want to call that being psychic, mind reading, whatever, I'm just telling what my experience has been. And I do observe silently. A high priest never reveals all that they know. We pay attention to what isn't being said, the words that are being chosen. And instead of clarity arriving, we then move into the Page of Wands. And then the Page of Swords reverse. One person appears excited, curious, hopeful, and open to the possibilities. And the other energy feels immature, uncertain, watching, studying, gathering information, yet making assumptions and or struggling to communicate directly. And that may be the real story. Not that love wasn't present, not that potential wasn't present, but that somebody failed to choose, failed to communicate, or failed to show up consistently enough for the connection to grow into what it could have became. The question isn't now what happened. The question is whether the truth is finally ready to be acknowledged. See, I'm always going to tell you the truth. Again, this is a collective read. It may not apply to everyone. So take the parts that fit you best and leave the rest. The roles can be reversed. I can say he and it can be a she. I can say she and it can be a he. This is why you must know your story and you must bring your own discernment and intuition into the reading. I'm not here to make you dependent upon me. I'm here to help teach you how to process so you can make decisions for your highest good. Collective, let me say this too also. We have to learn how to put ourselves first. We possess many gifts. We don't want to see others suffer the way some of us did. And we often go out on a limb to help people, which winds up ensnaring us because we don't take our knowledge, our wisdom, our experience before the Most High. See, when I'm reading, when I'm relaying information, I'm also hearing from the Holy Spirit. I also allow the Holy Spirit to correct me. Sometimes I can speak too fast and the Holy Spirit will be like, no, you quoted the wrong card, or no, that's not the interpretation. And we all must be open to receive from the divine. And that's why it's imperative that you utilize discernment, intuition, and divine wisdom in choosing who you listen to. Okay? All right. I felt the need to say that for somebody. Okay? So, I want to know what's going on here. I want to know what this person did and how it affected my collective. So we're going to pull out my Spill the Tea deck so we can find out what's really is going on here. And again, I say this strongly. Take what resonates and leave the rest. And be mindful of the decisions you make after reading tarot readings, because some of y'all be wilding. Y'all be going out and attacking people. Oh, I know you did this. I know you did this. So-and-so said so. That's another reason why my channel is faceless, because some of you all are still very emotionally immature and have a lot to learn. And I'm just the messenger. I'm here to help, not to incite violence or anything crazy like that. So, Holy Spirit, what's the real reason this connection started falling apart? Whoa. Did y'all see that? So we got group dynamics are shifting. Okay. So, you know what this is telling me, collective? The fact that group dynamics even came about means that there are outside parties, persons that have spoken into this person's life. This person may be involved in some type of group or society where there is group think going on, where they must seek the guidance and approval of someone there in charge and not making their own decision. This is very much giving follower information. Energy, excuse me. What is this person refusing to address at this time? Spreading positivity. Keep radiating positive energy and influence. So, this person may be a bit on the negative side. We'll find out. What else? What does the collective not yet know about this situation? Whoa, did y'all see that? It says doubt surface. Someone's trust in you is starting to waver. Collective, I believe this is you towards this person. Your trust was recognizing that their words and their actions were not in alignment. So what's the lesson? Damn. This flew over here. Inner conflict. Inner conflict makes decision making difficult, okay? The question I was going to ask is, what is the lesson that Spirit wants the collective to take from this experience? Okay. This was definitely a karmic lesson. Okay. There are karmic lessons in relationships that need to be learned. There were unspoken tensions lurking beneath the surface, and maybe in the past you did not readily acknowledge, let alone address them. Look what's on the bottom of the deck: uncovered truth. See, when you start addressing these unspoken truths, a person, now of course they still have to be mature. A person that loves you, that wants the best for you, um, I don't know why this isn't widely taught, but relationships should be win-win situations for both parties. And I'm not just talking about financial, business, being recognized, quote unquote, a celebrity, fame. I'm not talking about that. Love without purpose is pointless. Do you all know what your purposes are? Do they align? Do they work together? Or are you guys, emotions should not dictate fully whether a person is right for you. I'm tell you this. I have felt immense passion, care, and love for people I found out were enemies. Straight up, I'm just saying. You know what, collective? While I was sitting here looking at this, I think we just found the heart of this reading. Up until now, it was looking like what happened. But this second row has shifted into what did happen. And those are, two completely different questions. The first card on the row, this group dynamics and the inner conflict. They talking to each other because this person may have been, like I said, receiving input while simultaneously distrusting their own judgment. I'm telling you, that's a spot to be in. I've been there. This is how people get manipulated in all sorts of ways. Most commonly known ways are cults, covens, churches, gangs, things of that nature that imply, I'll say, a groupthink situation, which is a dangerous combination. Because when a person doesn't know themselves, doesn't trust themselves, or isn't emotionally mature enough to stand on their own convictions, they become vulnerable to groupthink, peer pressure, family pressure, religious pressure, the whole friend group dynamic type thing, social image. These people seek validation outside of themselves. And before they know it, they're making decisions based on everybody else's voice except their own. And then this spreading positivity card. I hear the Holy Spirit saying to tweak what I said. It's not necessarily about this person being negative. It's more of they reached somebody that challenged their negativity, and that may have been you, collective. Because you showed up as hopeful, encouraging, growth oriented, healing, focused. And this person is used to criticism, fear, cynicism, suspicion, and pessimism. So that positivity, hear me, that positive energy actually feels uncomfortable. They actually didn't believe you were real because you're not what they're accustomed to dealing with. Some people don't reject love, they reject hope, because hope requires them to be vulnerable. And they had been vulnerable in a lot of cases, many times, with the wrong people. So now they scared. There's a fear that exists. There's a wound that exists. There is trauma that exists. And all of those need to be healed. See, because doubt surfaced behind it. This is not betrayal energy, collective. This is inconsistent energy. See, trust doesn't disappear overnight. Trust erodes little by little. When words don't match actions, when plans never materialize, when questions go unanswered and patterns repeat. I still care about you, but I don't trust this situation. And collective, this is where I think you were. Where you are for some of you. Because this brought about inner conflict, and I don't know about you. I've come to trust that anybody that brings about a serious inner conflict, not do I need to check myself? You know what I'm saying? Because I believe in self-evaluation regularly. But this person had you questioning reality. Had you questioning whether you saw what you saw and you heard what you heard. I'm here trying to teach you how to trust that. Because that's one of your gifts from the Most High, from the Divine. This was the lesson card. The relationship might not have collapsed because there wasn't love. It collapsed because somebody couldn't resolve their inner conflict. They had one too. And if somebody is fighting themselves internally, they can't choose. They can't commit. They can't communicate. They can't lead. That's why I be talking about some of these wounded leaders. They need to sit down. Because they're busy battling themselves. And sometimes it takes time to do that. I sat down for a good little while. I got quiet. You have to so you can go within. Now, here's the teaching moment. Love without purpose is pointless. This is a whole nother conversation. Because chemistry alone, you can't build a future with that. Not a sustainable future. Attraction alone doesn't build, like I said. I put my water, a future. Neither does passion. Because then the questions become, what are we building? Where are we going? What values do we share? Because two cannot walk together unless they agree, right? Do we share a vision? And what's the purpose that we serve together? Because if two people are deeply in love but moving in opposite directions, I guarantee you, eventually love gets exhausted trying to bridge a gap. Purpose was never designed to cross. Ooh. Ooh. So we got the what, we got the why. Now I think we ought to tap into a truth deck. Okay. See if this brings us closer to our closing. I hope this is helping everyone. What's this person's greatest fear regarding this connection? What's their greatest fear? Show us, Holy Spirit. Sunset. Lost loved one. Memories. Elder. Nightfall. Oh, do enlighten me, Holy Spirit. Sunset. Loved one, memories, elder, nightfalls. They're worried that something will start and end quickly, maybe? I don't know. Let's keep going. What are they unwilling or unable to communicate directly to the collective? Whoa. Snake. We got lie, poison, fertility. So what truth is now becoming impossible to ignore? Oh. Oh, 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 look at that. We got divine intervention, serendipity, catalyst, karma. And clarifying that is sing, soul singer, or excuse me, soul, sing praises, performance. I think the divine is about to expose it to you. If you ask me, some kind of way, it's all, somebody finna sing, and it's when it all falls down. I'm telling you, oh, when it all falls. Remember on the Wizard of Oz, and they made it to the wizard, and then somebody pulled the curtain back and saw that little man back there on the microphone, you know, pulling chains, hitting buzzers, making sounds, sending out smoke. It was a whole act. A performance, a covering. It was manipulation. It was casting illusions. It was trickery. What does the collective need to understand in order to fully release this situation? Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's see how many cards we got. We got... Yep. We got miracle. I'm sorry, can y'all see that? Miracle, dreams come true, get what you want. Roll the dice, take a chance. Risk, a leap of faith. Be firm in your decision once you make it. Don't let anybody sway you. Look, and there was one more. Missing you. This person misses the hell out of you. Do you hear me? I told you that's not what the whole reading was about. But because they failed to overcome these things, this is where they at. They stuck somewhere out in the void, missing you because they didn't want to do the work. They didn't want to do what was required to have this Ten of Cups. See, y'all can do all the prayers, all the fasting that you want, the spell work, the rituals. If you get it, if you don't know how to maintain it, you won't be able to keep it. And you won't be able to keep it with manipulation. That's what spell work is. Only spell work I participate in is protection spells. Over my name, my family, my work, my being. Cleansing. Oh, and I will cut them cords, baby. This is gold. This is what happened, collective. But you're being guided to move forward. Those dreams, those miracles, those things you just desire, the things that, that needs to stay over here off to the side. Because don't let this decide this. Decide for yourself. Trust, hope, dream. Take a chance. A leap of faith. Something greater is available for you, to you. He's already planned your way of escape. You just have to execute. That has been your reading, collective. I pray that this helps someone. I didn't plan for this to be a longer reading. I thought Beyond the Veil was going to be shorter, more direct and to the point. But I think it answered your questions because somebody wanted to know what happened, what's the real story. And some of the answers and details, because it won't be the exact same for everyone. There will be similar extremes, similar stories with different extremes is what I was trying to say. But take what resonates and leave what doesn't. And if you are interested in looking into your chart, looking into your situation, your scenario, seeking guidance, or even one-on-one mentorship, send me an email. Message me. I'll be happy to answer your questions and based on our discussion, suggest what, service may benefit you best and possibly mentorship to continue on depending on how deep of a matter you're dealing with. All of my contact information will be in the box as well as in the description box as well as sewing information. Thank you for staying with me until the end, and I will see you tomorrow on Raising the Veil. Namaste.